What's up, you fuckheads? This is Shelby and Scotty. Zack is in Pittsburgh. Yeah, Zack is in Pittsburgh, chopping it up with some yinzers. I think that's not offensive, but I'll go out on a limb and say it's not offensive. Yinzer?
Yeah, what's that?
Never heard of that
before. No.
You never heard that in Pittsburgh? It's like a.
Well, I don't see color, so.
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with that, but nice try. What if it did?
I don't see regions, so.
Yeah, well, you got me there, because it's a native or inhabitant of the U.S. city of Pittsburgh. It's called a yinzer.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I would hate to be called that.
Yeah, that's stupid as shit. But I hope Zack is enjoying himself. I know the full cast hasn't gotten together in a while. I was on vacation, and Scotty and Zack did a fine job. But I'll go over what they went over, which was the season win totals from some teams in the NFL this year. I'll chalk down where I disagree and agree with both of their picks, or sometimes they were together on one. Then we'll go over our regular stuff, and then Scotty and I will dive into some other season-long future bets, maybe the Super Bowl market or the MVP, Coach of the Year, things like that aren't just team-oriented. Scotty, how are you?
I'm doing good, dude. Training camp started today.
This is early Christmas for you.
This is big.
Yeah.
I try to get and what's great about watching and being a Broncos fan is that we're 2 hours ahead, so I get to take my break at work and just fucking just read the tweets. It's like I fucking live for that. It's like watching a new episode of Broncos every day. It's like TV.
I try not to get too worked up over training camp stuff, but then I saw one that said Joe Burrow went 7 for 7 on a drive today, a touchdown drive, and kind of got my juices flowing a little bit. Yeah.
Anything to warm me up, bro, for that opening day.
This podcast is brought to you by technical glitches. It's just what happens to us. So I got back from Pittsburgh. This is Zack, by the way. Got back from Pittsburgh, and I'm sitting down to make sense of this hodgepodge that the boys recorded for me. And needless to say, Shelby's audio track, as per usual, is just all kinds of fucked in the first 15 minutes. So you missed some talk about the Reds. I think they're going to get into that a little bit more here later. You missed some preamble, some kind of funny stuff you can expect from us. But yeah, so I had to swoop in and kind of clean up the mess. So you're going to hear Shelby jump right into his discussion of, if you recall from last week, Scotty and I went with our over-under win totals for the NFL team, projected win totals by Vegas. We decided if we liked them, didn't like them, over-under, and Shelby's kind of given his spiel. So he's going to jump in talking about the 49ers, kind of in the middle of that, talking about Trey Lance and their whole quarterback situation. And before that, he was talking about the Lions. Was not a fan of our over 5. That's fine. He's entitled to his opinion. So, yeah, that's what you're about to hear. And I will talk to you guys next week.
But, I think it's fairly, my handicap's fairly obvious, is that the 49ers were, the most injured team all year last year. And it was, early, too. And it was, it wasn't just we'll get this guy back week 6, week 7. It was they were tearing ACLs left and right at MetLife Stadium, and were without all those studs on defense. George Kittle was out a significant amount of time. Jimmy G was out a significant amount of time. But my reasoning with this bet here, I would take the over, just hoping that Jimmy G would play a whole year. And I know they drafted Trey Lance, but Jimmy.
I don't think Trey Lance gets 11 wins in his rookie year. I just don't.
No. And
I think, at least from the jump.
Yeah, and I think if Jimmy G starts, he's not gonna be asked to throw 30-something times a game, and the defense will keep teams in that 14 to 23 point range or what have you, and he can do just enough to do what he did in 2019. So that's why I like San Francisco, and you saw it last year, kind of where they went on the road and beat Arizona down the stretch, and they'll pull off wins like that. But then they'll also turn around and lose to the Eagles. So, but if they're throwing out that Nick Mullins and and a host of other guys, I wouldn't like this as much. So this is basically, basically a bet on Jimmy G staying healthy. Because even with him doing a little.
If they don't have any injuries as an excuse this year, and they miss the playoffs, and if they're under 500, is Kyle Shanahan on the hot seat?
Yeah, I noticed that you mentioned that, and I would say no. You're 2 years removed from a conference
Can't
championship.
take someone to a Super Bowl in 2 years.
Yeah, if injuries aren't the excuse, and it's like, but you kind of drafted Trey Lance, and it's like a built-in excuse, like, oh, let's see what we got in this quarterback. It's almost like the Bears, like, what's the best way to buy yourself a couple more years? Like, draft Justin Fields and say you can, mold him into something.
Yep.
It's a surefire way to, buy yourself some time.
Hey, quick segment here, or a quick pull away. The Reds, Joey Votto hit another one.
No way.
Top of the ninth home run, 2-run shot,
Oh my God.
2-run shot in the top of the ninth.
Oh my
Votto homered again. That's literally that's 7 home runs in 4 games.
It's like 7 in at least the last 6, because he's had two homer games.
He hit 2 last night, 5 straight games, and 2
seven in the last
games,
5.
and 2 of them he had 2
7
home
in the
runs.
last 5, right?
7 in the last 5.
Wow.
Yep. No, wait. Yeah, that's right. Yep, that's
Still bangs. Okay.
Go.
And this is what I disagreed both of you, but now I'm kind of in the middle. But since I already wrote it down, I am just gonna go ahead and go with it. I kind of like Denver to go over 8.5. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is gonna lead the NFL in interceptions like Drew Lock did. And I still like, Cortland Sutton not being hurt like the entire year. How much time did he miss last year? Double-digit games?
He missed the week 1 game and played 1 quarter against the Steelers. That's all he played last year.
All year?
All year. He played 1 quarter all year.
So he missed the entire year?
Yep.
Okay, so obviously a big time back there, and then obviously you had Jerry Jeudy, who would get probably better quality looks if Cortland Sutton was taking up more instead of like Tim Patrick.
Jeudy apparently is going to get this like fucking monster year. I mean, everyone in Judy's been the talk of Denver. Like if anyone, Jeudy is like prime for like the all pro,
and he needs to be. And on top of that, KJ Hamler's not a bad wide receiver 3 to have. He had some good games along with Tim Patrick. I remember he was a hot name in fantasy for a minute, and Noah Fant's still a quality tight end. But I think Teddy Bridgewater would he would revert back to like almost the Saints role, where he's like game manager type, because I like the Denver defense. Justin Simmons and Kareem Jackson at safety, and then you add Kyle Fuller. You draft Patrick Surtain in the first round, who I already said is going to be a Hall of Famer, so I got to stick by that. And on top of that, Ronald Darby and Bryce Callahan's not very good, I remember, but Ronald Darby is.
No, Bryce Callahan's the best slot corner in football.
Okay, hand up. So I like the Denver secondary. Obviously, you need a good secondary to compete in that division with Patrick Mahomes, and now why am I blanking on the Chargers?
The pieces are there, man.
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert.
Sorry.
The pieces are there. The only thing is that the signal caller is just the most important position in sports. And I mean, if you don't got someone back there pulling the trigger, then 11 wins turn to 7 real quick.
Right, and that's why if if you could snap your fingers and you tell me Drew Lock's the starter the majority of the year, I take under, and I don't think twice about it. And if you say Ted,
I think he will be the starter.
Okay,
he had a good day though.
Okay,
I think Drew Lock gets the starting role with like a 5-game leash, 4 to 5 game leash,
and so
to be like, here you go, this is it.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, if he's a turnover machine again, I was just watching the highlights of the Broncos Raiders game in Vegas last year, and I was thinking that might have been
that's the worst
lowest
Drew
point
Lock game ever. Yeah. Yes,
well, I was also thinking it might have been the lowest 100%. Point of your year last year because Devontae Booker had 2 touchdowns.
Oh yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, well,
Good for him.
More revenge factor than I thought. Less of one.
Yeah.
But it is interesting.
Fuck that guy.
It is interesting in that division though. Like, one of the places I can flop over, and one of the ones I agree, since they're in the same division, I kind of like the Chargers to go under. Because
yeah, I do too. Everyone's too hype about them.
Yeah, so in 2019, it was like the Browns got Odell Beckham, and the expectations were out of the roof, and they tanked. And then last year, that's why I was kind of on them, because it was everyone was off them still from being short of expectations, and then they go off and make the second round of the playoffs, and Stefanski Coach of the Year, longest odds I've ever hit. And then, like, last year, it was the Arizona Cardinals had all the hype, and they fall flat again. And so now it's kind of the Chargers, where I think I don't see how, if everyone's so high on the Chargers, maybe that's what made me second guess the Broncos pick, because, like, if everyone's so high on the Chargers, how are they half game projected more than the Broncos? So it kind of confused me there, but it's almost like a fade the public play where, so many people are on the Chargers, and Brandon Staley, who knows? But it's also like it's addition by subtraction with the way Anthony Lynn managed some games. It's like, the Chargers had no reason losing to the Broncos in Denver last year.
Oh, no reason at all. And the thing is like, and by the in that game, even the Chargers were like basically done as far as reaching their win totals, unless they wanted to rack off every. But the thing is like, each team is going to get, like, these teams like the Chargers, it's all about, like, those first 5 games. If Justin Herbert comes out and in game 3 I don't know what their schedule is off the top of my head, but they play, like, a good team. Let's say they play the Buccaneers week 3 or something. Just like, this is hypothetical. Like a team prime for the playoffs, or the Browns. And Justin Herbert plays a great game, and they win close or dominantly, then that turns the tide for the whole season. Like that it's just about like what theme, the Chargers are going to set at the beginning of the year to start, and then because once they beat those good teams at the start of the year, then they can rack them up, and
jack them off,
and rack them up, and then that over is likely to hit. But yeah, I mean, it's weird that with Aaron Rodgers back in Green Bay, that the Broncos are still 8.5. That surprised me. So I mean, they're a little bit of a dark horse, but maybe not. Maybe the Vegas knows something we don't. So I'm a little bit higher on the Broncos now that I hear that.
Yeah, it's a prove it year for Fangio, obviously. The Chargers, like you mentioned, with like them beating a playoff team, the Chargers are one of those teams you could go through their schedule, and you could either go anywhere from 5-12 to like 11-6, because it's like week 1 Washington, who knows? Week 2 Cowboys, who knows? Week 3 Chiefs, probably a loss. Week 4 Raiders, probably a win. Browns, then the Browns and Raiders. So
oh wow,
Chiefs,
so right
Raiders,
there, that's
Browns,
a perfect sample size to know if the Chargers are for real.
Exactly. Chiefs, Raiders, Browns, Ravens in a 4-game stretch, and then in the bye. So 6 games. The bye week will show you, I guess, with that one.
Why is everyone big on Brandon Staley? I don't get it.
Because of the Rams' defense, I guess. Yeah.
He showed some film of Tom Brady throwing to Justin Herbert in a film session, and they're like, "Oh my God, look, this guy's a defensive coach coaching his." I'm like, so what? Like, I could pull up some highlights of fucking Mike Vick and show it to Drew Lock. I don't think it's gonna make Drew Lock a fucking AP at quarterback, but whatever.
And then, like, right out of the bye, Scotty, Patriots Vikings. So it's literally like, who the hell knows?
What do you mean, Patriots Vikings?
Like, that's who they play right out of the bye week.
Oh, yeah, Patriots and Vikings. Got it, yeah.
So who the hell knows? Also, did you see the Tom Brady video of him throwing into the jugs machine?
Yes.
That's fake, right?
Yes, it's 100% fake.
Yeah, but is it real?
It might be real.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might be real, but it's absolutely fake. But it's real.
Okay. When I first saw it, I was like, okay, that's so fake. And then, like, as it went on, I'm like, all right, it's probably real, but still definitely 100% fake. All right. Exactly. Glad we're on the same page there. I disagree with Zack about everything related to Washington football team.
Why's that?
Literally every sentence related to Washington football team.
Oh.
I don't get his. Aside from his comments about Ron Rivera, if he was as good a coach as he is cancer survivor.
That was just low.
Yeah, but like, good thing I won't even.
TJ Ward on the mic.
Yeah, Jesus. But like, good thing I won't even like mention that. So credit to me for not bringing that up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all in all, this is a roster. I mean, did they not just win a division? I know it was a bad division, but Ron Rivera's a good coach no matter, what Zack says. And that defense is still absolutely vicious. And
well, they lost the heart and soul of their defense in Ronald Darby. I don't know how they come back from that.
Well, I'll tell you how they come back from it. Their defensive line of Chase Young, Jonathan Allen, and Montez Sweat.
I know.
Right, and adding William
I don't
Jackson.
know who that second guy is, but
Jonathan Allen.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
First round pick from Alabama.
This year?
2017. He just signed a new contract, like an extension.
Oh, fuck me.
And I like their first round rookie linebacker from Kentucky, Yaman Davis, who I bet plus 800 to win defensive rookie of the year.
How much?
Yeah, and they added Kendall Fuller at corner and William Jackson at corner. So the defense looking great, and then on top of that, they have the old Ohio State teammates Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel at receiver, and Antonio Gibson off a great year at running back. And then you add Ryan Fitzpatrick in, and it's like Ryan Fitzpatrick, journeyman quarterback or whatever. But the dude was 5th in QBR last year, and probably would have taken the Dolphins to the playoffs if they weren't like putting Tua in every 5 minutes and then having Fitzy save him. So
yeah, you know what though? You know what's hilarious about teams like that? And tell me how wrong I'm not. Teams that have like dark jerseys always have a good defense. There's no way that Washington football team that their jerseys with that color, they're gonna be a bad defense. They just look like they have a good defense.
When the Ravens wear all black against the Bengals, I'm like,
there's no fucking way.
I was like, it's like, why are we even watching?
The Steelers
all black on like a primetime game. It's like, oh,
over.
God. Yeah,
no, dude.
Done.
I'm telling you, when you're in Washington and you see that like gross burgundy and those dark gold pants, I'm like, oh fuck, the Broncos might get 3 first downs total today.
Yeah, and my favorite part about the football team's schedule is here's their last 5 games. Dallas, these are literally consecutive weeks, no bye week or anything in between. Obviously, their last 5 games: Dallas, Philly, Giants.
Oh wow!
How weird is that?
Yeah, it's weird. Dallas, Philly, Giants.
They play their last 5 weeks. They play 5 of their last 6. They're 5 of their 6 division games on the year is in their last 5 weeks of the season.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
that's awful.
Dallas, Philly, Giants.
Wow, that's gonna be fun if it's a close race. Even though I think Dallas runs away with it this year.
Ooh,
just like I did last year.
I bet Washington plus 260 to win the NFC least. Ron Rivera coach of the year, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. That's all with the disagree. I put like the less than sign, like a small disagreement on Saints under 9 because I kind of like it.
Love the Saints.
Yeah,
Saints
I just worry that it's like it's Sean Payton and he'll find a way to win 10 games. Like, but it's just like like everything says under, and I like it. But then in my head, I'm like, it's Sean Payton, it's the Saints. They'll win 10 games. Even when Breeze was hurt, they survived. Right. They went undefeated. And so it's just
tough. But like Michael Thomas is not going to start the year now, and Alvin Kamara.
Yeah,
they're going to increase his workload. Remember that year, a couple years ago when they had Alvin Kamara as the starter and Mark Ingram was out, and he went off. But I was like, whoa, like they can't just keep giving him this much work because the wear and tear at the end of the season, I think played a factor that year. And I mean, if that's the case, if Alvin Kamara gets hurt, I mean that team's winning fucking 7 games or less.
Yeah, like I said, everything points to it, and I don't trust Taysom Hill, and I don't necessarily trust Jameis Winston. But
then again, what makes besides like the wide receiver depth, that they make up with like Alvin Kamara. Obviously, what makes the Saints a different team than the Broncos?
No, I completely get where you're coming from. That's what and like as far as like, I don't remember if the Saints had any like monster free agent acquisitions.
They couldn't because they're in salary cap hell.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Is that I know Cameron Jordan's still there, and like Demario Davis, I think, is one of their linebackers, and like Malcolm Jenkins and Lattimore.
Marshawn Lattimore and PJ Washington, I think his name. Or no, I think that's a basketball player, but something.
The Minneapolis Miracle guy who fucked up.
Oh,
Williams. Marcus Williams. Yeah.
So I mean, the Broncos secondary, they have a better second. The Broncos do. They have Broncos have the highest paid defense in the NFL. Did you know that?
Wow. But I mean, back to the Saints, where it's like if it's Jameis, if it's Taysom, or if it's Ian Book, or if it's Trevor Siemian.
Fuck.
You sure about the Saints under 9?
If
I didn't think so.
If Trevor Siemian ever becomes a starter,
I just thirst trap Scotty with a 4th string quarterback.
Listen to me. If Trevor Siemian becomes a starter, I will bet the other team's spread to the moon, but want it to lose.
Yeah. It's an emotional hedge.
I'm like, I hope I lose money and Trevor Siemian wins.
Well, that's just flat out disrespectful that Ian Book, rookie from Notre Dame, is 3rd string over Trevor Siemian.
That's not fair.
Super Bowl champion, 4th string.
Literally.
Pulling up the Saints roster
as a starter.
Who did you think that was retired who is still playing? Ty Montgomery, 4th string running back for the Saints.
Oh, really?
Also, if Michael Thomas is out, this receiving core for the Saints is sus.
Dog shit.
Traquan Smith, Deontay Harris, Marquez Callaway, Chris Hogan.
Oh my God, who's there?
Yeah,
Traquan Smith and Galloway.
Yeah, Marquez Callaway.
Oh God.
Yeah. So I don't know. Whatever that means to you. I might move that over to the agree pile. All right. Yeah. Other ones that I agreed with. I agreed with Zack, Arizona under 8. I kind of touched on that earlier. I don't think Kyler Murray is that guy. I don't think Cliff Kingsbury is that guy. No. And they're playing in the toughest division in football. I like where Zack went with. This was another like minimal agreement. Was Tennessee over 9.5 wins? I just think that defense is going to be so bad. I think I want the Titans and Bengals to play. Well, I do think I put small agreement on over just because I like the offense so much. But I also said Derrick Henry was going to get hurt this year, so I'm going to switch that over to under.
I like the under,
but
I think they're overrated.
Yeah, I think the Ryan Tannehill stuff is kind of like I'm just like kind of over it. It's like he's not gonna win you.
Yeah, he's kind of reached his hype, is what I said on the last podcast. He just kind of that ceiling is. I think he's reached as far as like what he's going to show us. We know exactly what he's gonna do. Like he's a steady top half quarterback, but he's never top 10. He's like somewhere between 12 and 16 at all times.
Okay, here's some of my favorite moments of the pod. It falls on the agreement side. I don't agree with this, but it was just funny when Scotty, you were like, I have Cleveland a future to win the number 1 seed, and Zack was like, oh my God, that's not gonna happen. I just thought that was funny. That's it. I kind of agreed with Zack, Pittsburgh over 8.5, but I kind of looked back on their 11-0 start last year, and it was like they had the easiest schedule in the NFL by far. Also, I just don't like putting this dirt on Big Ben's grave already when he threw 33 touchdowns and 10 picks last year. I don't know. It just seems a
fantasy god.
No, like is he not?
Fantasy god.
Is he not?
Literally like every year, he's such an easy fucking pickup.
A dream QB2 in our league.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
He just sits there. He gets drafted the same round as like Evan Ingram.
It's because he's fat.
Like, yeah. Well, maybe not anymore. All right. I also liked Miami under 9. We don't have to touch about that. I want Tua to suck. Okay, here's my 2. I agree with Zack with the Raiders over 7. I just realized watching that Broncos game highlights that the Raiders went to 6-3 after that win, and then had those like collapses. They lost to the Chargers in overtime. Then they lost to the Dolphins somehow, a game they should have won. So like they were very close to being a 9 or 10 win team last year, but they also won some close games. I just like when you said the Raiders their win totals at 7. Zach says take the over. That's going to be a great team. That was his quote.
Yeah.
So Raiders are great. And then Scotty, my biggest
name fucking 3 defensive players on their team, Zach.
Yeah, and he said he just came out, Scotty. Like, and
yeah,
Carl Nassib, who intercepted Drew Lock that day, by the way.
Fuck off.
Scotty, my biggest agreement with you, and this is a
Okay.
bet I've went back and bet 3 times.
Oh fuck yeah.
It's the Chiefs over 12.5 wins.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Chiefs, bro. They're probably going to be the best team, if not, other than the Browns.
Yeah, like I know, like you don't have to tell me how like fucking chalk that is, but it's like Mahomes has lost 4 games combined in the last 2 years in the regular season.
Right.
So it's like, and now you're giving me he can lose 4 this year,
Yeah.
and it's not like, I mean, the division's tough, but I mean, no shade to the Broncos, but they haven't beaten the Chiefs with Mahomes
Since
the Chargers.
since Manning.
No, I'm saying when they've
the
had Mahomes.
Chargers,
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And they're gonna be favored in every single game they play. So I look at a stretch like towards the end of the year where they go Raiders, Cowboys, Broncos, Raiders. And the Giants are in there too. I mean, their schedule is tough out of the gate. That they go Cleveland, Baltimore, Chargers, and then 2 weeks later they have Buffalo. But I keep going back to it. It's like it's the fucking Chiefs.
Yeah.
It's like
I just want to bring
and
like
they
I just want to like fuck with Mahomes. I want Mahomes to come to Denver and every year just like every single time he's on offense just have steak on the fucking on the big board.
some type of walking like Heinz ketchup bottle just hovering around the
Or
Chiefs sideline.
Yeah, or just like or just the driest steak. Be like, "Don't you want to put ketchup on this?"
Yeah, it's like, well done, Mahomes. Literally. All right, Scotty, if you want to pull up any like long shot futures you want to touch on before we get off here.
Long shot futures. I do have one surprise segment for you, and I just kind of thought about it when I was relaxing on my couch earlier. So I thought it would be fun. But let me see.
Yeah.
Let me look at some futures that I have written down here. Meaning, let me pull them up on my laptop. So you already know my one. I think the Browns. Yeah, I mean, like, tell me why the Browns can't be number 1. Tough division.
I would say the Chiefs, but
Chiefs tough
yeah,
division.
I would say the Chiefs. The Chiefs and Bills could be better. The Browns have a harder schedule than both of those 2 teams.
What would you bet on the Bills? Over or under?
I would probably go over 11.
You think?
Yeah,
probably.
It just I hate just saying that and being like, oh, they were good last year. They'll be good this year. You know.
You know what under I love?
Who?
Then on the Bills, under Stephon Diggs receiving total. No fucking way he matches what he put up last year. I think it's let me look at it specifically, but I think it's like close to 1,200.
Yeah, because I got burned by like week 4 betting Stephon Diggs under last year. Like it was a bloodbath.
I going with just a fade of everyone on him that I'm gonna look it up for you right now. Stephon Diggs. Oh my God, it's actually 1,400.5.
Oh my gosh.
Bet
like
that
a
shit
lot.
tomorrow minus 124.
Yeah, I am gonna bet that tomorrow when I go.
Under 1,400 yards, bro. There's no fucking way.
You want me to get something down for you?
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Jared. Yeah. You want that for me? Well.
Okay.
I'll send you price. I'll get you numbers after this. But.
Okay.
Jerry Jeudy, I like his over. But he's not even listed on Lawrenceburg.
Oh, cool.
AJ Brown. I like his under 1,200.5 with Julio Jones in the mix.
Who is being sued for selling illegal cannabis on the black market?
Do you think that stops him from playing?
No, I just thought it'd be relevant.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to look at like, the best. What my favorite thing to bet is like the best wide receivers in the NFL who are all of a sudden in a stacked core or stacked group. So like I like
that.
I like Randall Cobb over actually. I like Green Bay to win the Super Bowl. I think it makes for a great story. The NFL would fucking love that. I think.
I bet that already.
Yeah.
Plus 1,200.
Yeah, I like T. Higgins this year a lot.
Or whatever.
But I think a lot of people like T. Higgins this year, even though it's a stacked. I think he goes over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd has the lowest of all three of those guys. I feel bad for the
Weird.
poor guy.
I would bet that over too.
And I like Jamar Chase under for that reason.
Yeah. Derrick Henry, his over under is set at 1,550 yards.
Jeez.
That's
under.
Dude, that's a no-brainer under.
Yeah. I mean, I know you get one extra game, but dude, I'm sorry, he's a freak of nature, but the wear and tear, and I've already called his injury happening this year, but
yeah.
How about Coach of the Year, Scotty?
Coach of the Year.
So are you looking at it right now? Don't look at it.
I'm not looking at it.
Can you think of the top 4 candidates?
Bill Belichick?
No.
He's not even in the top 4?
He's 10th.
Kevin Stefanski?
He is 6th.
Oh, man, fuck. Cliff Kingsbury?
Not even in the top 25. Not
Sean
even in the top
McDermott?
25. Tied with Belichick for 10th.
Fuck. Andy Reid?
No. I already
Sean
know
Payton?
that. Yeah, 16th. Sean Payton is down there too.
Oh
13th.
my God. If Sean Payton gets the team to 11 wins without Drew Brees, I think he deserves it to be in the conversation. So that's a good future.
You want to know the favorite?
No. I want to guess it. Okay, yeah, I do. Tell me it.
Okay. Favorite, Brandon Staley.
Oh, and I almost said it before. You said it.
Well, it makes sense because everyone's on the Chargers.
Right. Why?
Second
is Brandon
favorite
Staley? Fuck. What is about it?
Second favorite, Brian Flores.
Stupid.
Third favorite, Ron Rivera, which I actually like.
That. Yep.
14-1.
Like it.
14-1. Kyle Shanahan also 14-1. Sean McVay 15-1. Stefanski 15-1. Another one I kind of like is Frank Reich at 16-1 because I think the Colts. I like the Colts to win the South.
I mean, what criteria do you need to have to be Coach of the Year? You have to like overcome shit, right? So like.
Right.
So like.
Well, yeah. So maybe not Frank Reich.
So why? Yeah, I mean they're coming off a playoff, so like if they have another year similar to last year or even a little bit better, unless they're the number 1 seed, Frank Reich doesn't get it. I don't think.
Right. Rivera, they just won it.
Why McVay? Why would McVay ever win that? Why is he even listed? I mean, it's like that high up. I mean, new quarterback, but like you're upgrading at the position, and you've been to the like playoffs like every year except one of your coaching tenure.
So, no, I agree, and so
McVay.
I mean it's So I mean Rivera, I hate to be that guy, but the cancer thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
yep, I do.
It's kind of like. It's kind of like with Big Ben, people not wanting to vote Big Ben for Comeback Player of the Year. Shanahan, I mean, if you win that, if you win that division, come in first place in the NFC, I could see. But there's a reason these are all kind of stacked together. Robert Sulla's 18-1, Matt Rule's 18-1.
I would do Sean Payton. That's I would put it on Sean Payton. Because
But you're so adamant about Saints under 9.
I know. Well, that's kind of my emotional hedge. So that's my Zack moment of the podcast where he said the Jets are definitely getting their number 1, yet won't commit to under 6.5.
Yeah, that was my favorite moment of maybe of all time.
but the fact that the Saints are I think the Saints go under just because they're flipping everything. But if Sean Payton is as good of a coach as he is and is able to still get that team in a top 4 seeding, he'll definitely be in the conversation. I mean, the Saints have this big, they don't have a lot of good skill players right now beyond their, top receiver and running back. But yeah, I mean, Sean Payton will have to prove that he's beyond Drew Brees, beyond just like a small sample size.
Something to keep an eye on, maybe read up on it. But yeah, that's why I said in the group chat the other day with the Saints being like a question mark, basically outside of Michael Thomas being hurt, no Drew Brees. The Buccaneers are minus 200 to win the South. I still think that's like incredibly light for them.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the Falcons and Panthers are both 9-1. I don't think they challenge them, and the Saints, we've already talked about at length. So I don't see how the Bucs are only minus 200.
Do you like Myles Gaskin this year?
Yeah, he's the lead back, right?
Yeah, they brought in no competition. His over/under is 800.5, though he catches a lot out of the backfield. So, I like his over touchdowns if there's such a bet somewhere.
Yeah, he buried me in that fantasy matchup we had. Against the Raiders
before it even started. Thursday Night Football. Saturday Night Football.
Comeback Player of the Year. It's literally Dak Prescott and everyone else. I mean, it's gonna be a quarterback. I don't think Burrow gets there because they won't win enough games.
Yeah.
Prescott.
The Cowboys, though.
But the Cowboys could win the division and at 9 or 10 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, like Carson Wentz, I think is kind of attractive at 9-1. But I think any bet on Comeback Player of the Year that isn't a quarterback is like a sucker bet.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I'm not going to go to the book and put money on Von Miller to win Comeback Player of the Year. It's just not going to happen.
Or like maybe I could see Christian McCaffrey, but like if the Panthers go 7-10 and McCaffrey has a great year, is he winning Comeback Player of the Year?
Depends on like what kind of year he had. If he had like 1,200 receiving and 1,200 rushing, maybe.
So
I don't know. I could see it, right? Like it just. I mean, another quarterback like comeback player would have to not be very good. They would have to just put on like subpar stats.
Right.
Like Dak Prescott, is 21 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, and like 3,600 yards.
Yeah.
He's not winning it if McCaffrey has a great season.
So it's actually a little bit interesting. The last 3 Comeback Player of the Years were quarterbacks: Alex Smith, Ryan Tannehill, and Andrew Luck. But before that, there were 4 straight non-quarterbacks to win: Keenan Allen, Jordy Nelson, Eric Berry, and Gronk.
Wow.
But then before that, it was just
Keenan Allen.
All quarterbacks. So yeah, I think from what the odds look like, I mean Dak plus 175, and then 6-1 in second place is Barkley, Burrow, and McCaffrey. It's just tough.
I would put my biggest bet. Now hear me out. I would put my biggest bet on the Saints under 9.5, but I would sprinkle a little bit on Jameis Winston. Comeback Player of the Year.
You're covering your bases.
If I'm sprinkling some on Sean McVay. Yeah, dude.
Jameis Winston. I'll
win.
The year?
The even money. Yeah, I would even money, right? But I can put smaller, half units to win back my even money if like the Saints just completely fuck me over and win the 10 games and they have this special season. I don't know. I probably won't put anything on the Saints, but that 9 is staring the fuck at me. Like that 9 is just staring at me hardcore.
You're going to bet it one way because you can't just sit idle and not bet it, and then they're either going to hit it or miss it, and you're going to be like, I knew it.
What am I going to do? Not bet it?
Right. All right, Scotty. Get out of the futures. Go to week 1, the live and upcoming. Here's what bets I'm making week 1 tomorrow.
Okay.
I like Arizona and Tennessee over 51.5.
Over. Okay.
I like Philly and Atlanta even more over 48.
Philly and Atlanta over 48.
I like Jacksonville, Houston under
Okay.
45.5.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Don't you? And it's like the Jaguars get such a layup in Trevor Lawrence's first game. Just take it easy. Just win the game 20-10. Go
Yeah,
home.
seriously.
And then I like Cleveland +6 at Kansas City.
I like that too.
And then a parlay, 49ers, Rams, Ravens +145.
49ers to beat the Lions, Rams to beat the
Bears.
Bears, and what was the third one?
Ravens to beat the Raiders.
I like that a lot.
But I am kind of going back and forth on that Ravens Raiders just because it feels like the Ravens or the Raiders Saints game last year where it's like fans are in the Vegas stadium for the first time. Like
Oh, yeah, but then there's just going to be a fan that stadium all year is not going to be home field advantage. It's just going to be a bunch of degenerates going for a good time and bet like it's going to be fans of all these different teams. It's going to be like a Pro Bowl there.
That's true.
In my opinion.
I like it.
I like. Tell me how the Broncos and Giants score 43 points.
It's 42.5 now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. There's no fucking way they get to 43.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. That under's a lock.
Oh.
Not with the Broncos defense. I think it's a lock.
You use the L word, so now I have to bet it tomorrow.
It's a lock. It's the under 42.5 is stone cold.
Damn, Scotty, that's like a reputation bet.
Dude, I've liked this bet since the odds came out whenever the fucking schedule came out.
Okay. Well, here's some look-ahead lines that are posted at Lawrenceburg for Week 2 and beyond. Here's what I like going forward. Week 2, I like the Bengals +4.5 against the Bears. I like Denver.
How are you getting these?
They're on Lawrenceburg.
Oh, on futures?
No, on Live and Upcoming.
I only see September 12th and then the September 19th. Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Denver -2.5 against the Jaguars.
Yeah.
I like Cleveland
like
-12.5 against Houston just because Cleveland -12.5 against Houston, you know that number is going to go up to 13 or 14 by the time this game starts.
Right.
So you're avoiding all those key numbers. I also like the 49ers -5 against the Eagles.
Do you like the
And
Patriots -4 against the Jets? Because I like them.
I do. I'm so scared of the Patriots though, like what
to
they're gonna
suck?
look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
But like
knows?
the Patriots could go 13 wins or 4 wins. Like it wouldn't surprise me either way. October 31st, 49ers -3.5 against the Bears. Looking at like Justin Fields, one of his first starts in there. We've talked about Saints under, right?
Yep.
You like the Bills to go over?
I'm scared to bet the Bills.
Okay, well, either way you slice it, you could bet the Bills at under a field goal against the Saints on November 25th, -2.5. So get in there before the key number pops up. November 28th, Browns +3.5 against the Ravens. December 5th, Ravens -2.5 against Pittsburgh. And my last one, Christmas Day, Colts -1.5 against the Cardinals.
Here's my problem with betting futures is I'm too impatient. It's like, I could put this money somewhere and win it tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
It's tough. That's always been my big thing with futures, but I do like those lines. I mean, I can't talk shit because last year I made one of the smartest bets of all time, and took
ahead of yourself.
I took the Niners, and I told you, I was like, how do the Niners not only at -6 against? How are the Niners only -6 against the Jets in week 2? And this was like 2 weeks before the season started. I'm like,
it was one of the few like set it and forget it bets ever.
Yeah,
like,
seriously. It was like the first play. The Niners were up 7-0 like that, and then it was like the easiest win ever.
Yeah, they were never not covering.
Yeah, it was great. That was beautiful. Okay, Shelby, I have a segment for you. I think it would be fun to remember. I'm just going to list off some Reds bullpen pitchers from 2015.
Okay.
And you tell me if you remember them. Do you remember Jumbo Diaz?
Okay.
Fat fuck Jumbo Diaz.
Oh, absolutely. Number 70.
Number 70, TJ Antone's number. Tony Cingrani.
Yeah. No, Jump. Oh, yeah, he went to the Dodgers. Now he plays for the Lexington Legends.
Oh my God.
Independent ball.
I
there in Kentucky.
want to name these because a lot of these, as fans, this was kind of the first year you and me really like religiously watched Reds baseball together, and so I mean maybe the second or third year that we watched it religiously, but as friends. But remember when like some of these players left, we were like, oh my God, they're gonna be so epic somewhere else, and then they like just take a look at where their careers have gone by the name.
Yeah.
Tim Melville.
Vaguely remember him.
Homer Bailey, Manny Parra.
I remember Manny Parra, left-handed guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't that bad.
No. Donovan Hand.
Do not remember him. He had to have played like
a
handful of games.
Remember Mike Leake? The only reason I did this because I couldn't remember Mike Leake's fucking name. I was like, what's the motherfucker's name?
Dude, Mike Leake was awesome.
Do you know why he's out of the league? I researched it. Because last year he was one of the first ones to opt out of the COVID shortened season.
Really?
This year, at the end of last year, the Diamondbacks declined his second year. In like a $17 million opt-in if they would have opted him in, but they declined his option, and they bought him out for $5 million. Caleb Cotham.
Oh my God. I do remember Caleb Cotham. He was a weird-looking redhead.
Yeah. Kevius Sampson.
Kevius
Sampson.
Yep.
Dude, Cingrani to me, I wanted Cingrani to be good so fucking bad.
Dude, sometimes he was. And it was like, oh my God, yes. Also, shout out Ryan Hendricks of the Reds tonight, helping people hit the over.
What'd he do? Just give up a home run in the ninth?
He gave up it was 8-0 Reds, and he gave up 2 in the ninth to hit the over 9.5.
I fucking hate
what
Brock, Hendricks, Hembry, whatever. I know, but
dude, Brock's awesome.
Is he good?
Yeah,
you like Brock. Oh, okay, whatever.
Streets say he's good.
Well, the streets don't lie to me. Eighth inning hero. Do you know who I'm talking about? He had one good year where he was like the fucking eighth inning guy for 1 year, and he was fucking electric.
Oh, J.J. Hoover?
J.J. Hoover. Yep.
Yeah, he was like, he should have been an all-star in 2015.
Do you remember that dude we went to go see, and he started the game and only gave up like 3 runs, but the Reds lost 3-1?
Oh, no. John Lamb?
John Lamb.
Yeah.
You remember him, yeah. Chris O'Grady.
Against the Giants. An absolute miserable, cold-ass early May game.
Yep.
We were first row in left field. Nothing even got hit. I don't think a flyout came to left field that day.
Yeah, yep, exactly. Blake Wood.
I don't remember Blake Wood.
Kevin Gregg.
Kevin Gregg was a legend.
Dude, Kevin Gregg was a legend in that he was the worst, I think the worst pitcher I've ever seen the Reds consistently throw out there.
He was literally so fucking bad.
Literally, I've never seen a worse pitcher than. I'd be surprised if he played again.
I think the Reds signed him when he was like 38 years old. Yeah, he was like 38 years old when the Reds signed him.
So he played it for the Reds, and he posted a 10.13 ERA through 11 appearances, and was released on May 11th and never played again. Except for a minor league contract with the Marlins that he opted out of his deal with like a month later.
Yeah, don't feel bad. He made enough money.
John Moscott. Remember him? Didn't he just like? Didn't
a
couple years ago he just like tore his ACL on the mound?
I remember John Moscott never pitching again after the Reds.
Was he always a Red? Wasn't he always a Red though? Yes. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think he retired. Yeah.
Sam LeCure was on this team, supposedly. Does that sound right? Reds
I mean,
pitchers 2015.
that's an OG. Yeah.
Wow.
It would have been like one of his last years. But he was always solid.
That might be it. But I mean, just to look back 6 years ago to see how I didn't know that they changed this drastically. Every year. But Jonathan Broxton.
Yeah, I consistently feel bad for Joey Votto when I think of. He was on the 15 team.
I'm back in 14 now, just to see if there's some different ones that I can find.
Oh, okay. 14. The 2014 trade deadline was when the Reds rebuild started.
Yeah.
But I remember like 2015. I think like I always feel bad for Joey Votto, all the horrendous years he had to suffer through.
Oh my god.
But I think like 2015. I don't know how many Reds are still left besides Votto. I think maybe Lorenzen. That might be it.
Since 2015? Yeah, because Raisel Iglesias was on that team. He's gone. Amir Garrett.
Suarez might have been there. Suarez would have been there if it was 2015.
Reds team in 2015, yeah. I think Suarez was there. Tucker Barnhart was there.
Yeah, because they traded for him in 2014.
Yeah, so Tucker Barnhart. But
okay.
Zach Cozart was there. Remember Zach Cozart? He played like 2 more years, and then I didn't want him to go.
Love Zach
I didn't want
Cozart.
him to get traded at all, and then he didn't really do shit afterwards, but by no fault of his own. Remember Brandon Finnegan and how good he was going to be?
Yeah, his last year with the Reds, he hit like 300. Oh my god, Brandon Finnegan was the next Cy Young. He was like Clayton Kershaw incarnate.
Yeah, you were right. Suarez was on that team. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have been his like
and
first
Amir
full
Garrett.
year.
That's about it.
Memory lane.
That's all I got.
Memory lane. Awful times.
We're back.
But I like that segment. Yeah, we are back. The Reds win tonight, 8-2. They are 4 games over 500. Yep, 53-49. Going for the series win tomorrow afternoon. Scotty, thanks for joining me. Zach, hope vacation's well. Scotty, is that our show?
I don't know what to say. Yes? Is okay.
Okay, good.
Alright.
See you next time.
There's a little place where the sun sleeps late and pulls himself a shot of tequila. It's a little place called Pleasure Island. That's where I'd like to feel ya. It's easy to find just beyond the last wave. Dolphins and whales are mating. Sail all day and all night and then take a hard ride. That's where I'll be awaiting. Pleasure Island, island of pleasure. No need to stop and think. Pleasure Island, a beautiful treasure. Come on down and have a drink.